You used our flag as toilet paper.
This is the worst attack on this republic in modern history.
So as you all know by now, former President Donald Trump's Mar-A-Lago estate was raided by the FBI. Now, they took apparently a bunch of documents that Trump had taken with him from the White House to Mar-a-Lago. Still a lot of speculation about what this was actually about. There isn't much information about it yet. That said, the best part about this entire thing has been the reaction from conservative media. So I'm going to get to an incredible supercut of clips from Fox News in particular and their immediate reaction to the news. And also later on, I will get to Andrew Yang of the Forward Party. His reaction, arguably even dumber, if you can imagine. But first here, let's just lay the groundwork for what is a very important piece of information before we get to these clips. This is Jesse Kelly. Jesse Kelly of conservative media fame. He has a big, I think, 3-hour show, host of the Jesse Kelly Show. He's a right-winger, over 500,000 followers on Twitter. Big name. He tweets out, Trump has every right to be livid about the gross violation of his rights. He should be extra mad at whoever put Chris Wray in charge of the FBI. I agree. He should be extra mad at whoever put Christopher Wray in charge of the FBI. Trump taps Christopher Wray to head the FBI. Headline here from 2017. It just goes to show you how little information these people have, and they don't care. This tweet is still up. This was posted last night. He knows this is ridiculous. He has to know that this makes him look stupid, yet he kept this up. It's important to showcase this because this is not some random account. This is a guy with 500,000 followers, a big conservative media figure here, just posting something incredibly stupid. It showcases how freaking dumb these people are. And dumb is not always the correct word. In this case, dumb has to be the right word because this just makes him look like an idiot. But often it's just, pure propaganda. That's what it is. And the fact that this tweet is still up, I have to say, makes me think it's more about the propaganda here than it is about him being stupid. But let's get to these clips here. So this put together by Mediaite, so I want to give them full credit here. They supercut this all together. I covered a lot of the Fox News coverage last night during a live stream, so if you want to watch that, you can watch. I had like an hour-long live stream on this, so you can go check that out. So I covered a lot of these clips live. That said, I'm going to play this, and keep in mind while you're watching this, just the fact that Christopher Wray was appointed by Trump. And I will try to address some of the absurdity mentioned here, but there is so much of it, it's kind of hard to keep track.
The FBI is corrupt.
You used our flag as toilet paper.
This is going to absolutely enrage the country.
It almost feels like a preemptive coup.
This is the worst attack on this republic in modern history.
Every single person involved in this needs to be fired immediately.
They say banana republic. I think it's an understatement because it really feels like we are there and beyond.
This is meant to prevent Donald Trump from being able to run again.
And then when the left starts whining in the media, fire 100 more the next day.
To dismantle the FBI. And
can't be this nice guy routine where we're just, let's be friends.
Do not even let them breathe. Everyone has to go.
This is the Rubicon being crossed.
But the real target of this investigation isn't Trump. The real target of this investigation is you.
You do not live in a constitutional republic anymore.
To defund the FBI?
This is something we've never seen before. This is something that is outrageous.
This is some third world bullshit right here.
The guy right now is the Gestapo. The FBI is the Gestapo.
The rank corruption of the D.C. establishment.
And the usage of the FBI in this way is really the nail in the coffin for so many Americans.
This is very scary. There's a trend. Never before used statutes used in a fashion to go after who? Political enemies.
We don't live in Cuba. We don't live under Kim Jong-un.
This is the deep state's revenge.
Oh, my God. Just the grandiose language, the over-the-top nature of all of this. Though this is the worst attack on the country in modern time. Step aside 9/11, you had documents being taken by the FBI from Mar-a-Lago that Trump initially stole from the White House. The worst attack on the country in modern time. Dismantle the FBI. Hey, if this is going to get them to, reconsider the idea of defunding the police, I'm not going to complain. Everyone has to go. The real target is you. This attempt to rile people up, to get them angry, which they're already, if they're watching Fox News and they're taking it seriously, they're already angry. But even more angry. The real target is you, not Trump. You're being targeted because a powerful man who tried to steal the election, who took documents from the White House that didn't belong to him, because those documents were taken back, the real target is you. It doesn't have to make sense. That's the point. It's all emotional. It's purely emotional. It's feelings over facts. That's all it is. That's why people like Ben Shapiro, they're saying is facts over feelings, because they are they know they're full of shit. So they have to try and own the narrative and act like the facts are on their side. When this is the conservative movement. They are all about feelings. But so because their dear leader was raided with Christopher Wray at the top of the FBI, we all know Trump only hires the best. He only hires the smartest people, the best people. Well, his best person helped to issue this raid. It's all so ridiculous, so sad, so over the top. But there occasionally was, or at least I saw this one headline. I guess there was one moment of a fact getting through. Fox News legal analyst tamps down hysteria. FBI has every right to collect classified material from Trump. So, one moment, one fact got through at some point. Alyssa Farah, this is from CNN. Alyssa Farah Griffin says DOJ may have just handed Trump the presidency in 2024 with FBI raid. I don't, and we're going to get to Andrew Yang in a second, who has a very similar view. How can anyone possibly think this? Like, you really have to be living in your own bubble to think that documents that Trump stole being taken back, that is going to be the reason that Trump wins in 2024. By the way, this helps DeSantis. And DeSantis, I think, would have a much better shot against Joe Biden than Donald Trump does. Trump already lost to Biden. DeSantis is, for a lot of people, a new name. They're unfamiliar with him, so there is that attempt there for him to try and, or that opportunity for him to try and, formulate what he's about to the vast majority of voters by, of course, lying to them, as DeSantis is just as bad, if not worse than Trump. But they should be happy. They should be happy if this continues and Trump really can't run in 2024, because it would give them a better shot at the presidency. But of course, it's all about the fear mongering. It's all about getting people angry. It's all about their dear leader, Donald Trump. It's not about the facts. And this is where we get to Andrew Yang, who, if you didn't think he was a grifter before, this proves he's a grifter. I'm no Trump fan. I want him as far away from the White House as possible. But a fundamental part of his appeal has been that it's him against a corrupt government establishment. This raid strengthens that case for millions of Americans who will see this as unjust persecution. How is it unjust persecution? He literally stole these documents. Trump clearly tried to steal an election. That is very obvious from all the information, all the evidence that has come out, including people that were part of his team. Die-hard conservatives, die-hard Republicans, to this day, still die-hard Republicans, flipping and discussing what actually happened. Trump had planned to go to the Capitol with the marchers, with the rioters. The only reason he didn't was because his Secret Service drove him to the White House while he was protesting and trying to get to the Capitol. So people around Trump are the ones that actually saved him from an even potentially worse situation. But none of this matters, apparently. A powerful individual who tried to steal an election, who stole these documents, none of this matters. Breaking the law does not matter. What matters is that this raid somehow strengthens the case for people to see this as unjust. If you see this as unjust, then you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Why should the rest of us bow to the view of the morons? How does that make any sense? He goes on. Unfortunately, I fear we will look back on this as a day that activated extremism. Activated extremism. And not the opposite. This is so dumb. Like, what was January 6th? Even putting that aside, far-right terror poses a bigger threat to U.S. than Islamic extremism post 9/11. Since the 9/11 attack, far-right extremists killed more people in the U.S. than did American-based Islamist fundamentalists. Going on, the FBI Director Christopher Wray told Congress that the January 6th insurrection wasn't an isolated event and, quote, the problem of domestic terrorism has been metastasized across the country for a number of years. Wray added that the white supremacists comprise, quote, the biggest chunk of our domestic terrorism portfolio overall and have been responsible for the most lethal attacks over the last decade. And even more here, you can see the data. Since 9/11, the cumulative people killed by right-wing extremists is greater than those killed by Islamist extremists. And to be clear here, Islamist extremism is also far-right, but, you know, I guess a different flavor of far-right extremism. But here you have far-right taking over the Islamist extremism. This is well-known, well-documented. Trump's own Christopher Wray has pointed this out. But no, of course, data doesn't matter. It's all about feelings. It's all about protecting the powerful. Andrew Yang, don't go after powerful people who break the law. We should allow them to continue breaking the law, allow their lawlessness because of the morons that see it as unjust, even though it is not unjust. Do not be fooled by the Forward Party and this trash. He is very clearly trying to attract the MAGA base. That's why he shows up at these far-right events. He doesn't show up to left-wing events, but he will show up to far-right events that are attended by white nationalists. So it is just a disgusting attempt here to try and make the right feel good about themselves, when in reality, we all know the fact. Donald Trump broke the law, broke many laws. This is well documented. The fact that it's taken this long to see any results at all is in itself a travesty. But finally, there are some documents taken that he took from the White House. Finally, something. And people on the right are freaking out about maybe potentially at one point this obvious lawbreaker may be held to account. Give me a break.